time for our special guest, a Youngstown native, a University of Oregon alum, and a brand new Cleveland Brown. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the podcast, Troy Hill. Troy Hill, welcome to the Garage Beers podcast.
Yo, I appreciate you having me. I appreciate it.
Well, listen, man, first things first, welcome to the Dog Pound. To us what it feels like to be suiting up for the orange and brown and kind of your emotions, knowing that you're going to be playing back in the state that you're from.
Yeah, it feels good to be back home, to be playing for the Dog Pound. I seen them growing up, you know, and all the things that they was going through and the way they turning that program around. I'm excited to be a part of that and be a part of something special right now. So, I mean, it's gonna be exciting out there. It's gonna be fun, and I'm just gonna go out there and represent the city, represent my family, and everything the right way. So I'm excited to be there.
Now that Youngstown area, man, is incredibly divided. Did you grow up a Browns fan or Steelers fan?
You know a little something there, huh?
Yeah. Hey, man. Hey, I spent 3 years in the Yo. Troy, come on, I spent 3 years in the Yo.
Yeah. I grew up actually a Broncos fan. It's so crazy, but that's because the Browns wasn't there. But I used to watch them a lot. But like all my family, well, my dad's side, they was like Pittsburgh fans, and my mom's side is like Cleveland fans. So, okay. I mean, it's going to be interesting on them Sundays when Cleveland and Pittsburgh each other.
Okay. House divided.
House divided.
Well, hopefully not anymore. They better all be brothers.
Yeah. Not no more. It better not be. We're gonna have a lot of conversations. Yeah.
That's right.
Well, listen, it's exciting. It's if you're a Browns fan, you know about the Dog Pound. You know, if you're from here, you know about the Dog Pound. If you know about the Dog Pound, you know that was defensive backs that started that. That was Dixon and Frank Minifield. If you don't know that yet, they're probably going to ram it down your throat as a new Browns player. That it was defensive backs that started the Dog Pound. And right now it feels like the Browns have a chance to get back to what created the Dog Pound in the first place, which was a dominant defensive backfield. So looking at that defensive backfield, it's got to get you pretty excited knowing that you came over here with John Johnson III, which and the conversations you've had. But you've got the other guys out there. You've got Denzel Ward, hopefully Greedy Williams coming back. You've got Grant Delpit, who hasn't played yet, but high expectations of that guy. Ronnie Harrison. There's just a lot of names there that all of a sudden it seems like they've recreated this defensive backfield. So do you think you guys are going to get back to being that Dog Pound mentality, bringing the fight back to the other teams?
I definitely do. I mean, you look at the roster and all that talent that's on there. It's hard to not. We just got to go out there and put it together. I mean, put the work in every day. And I mean, you know, we capable of a lot. Like you said, on paper, it's good, but we're going to have to still go out there and put in that work. So that's what I'm excited about, to go out there and get that work in with them. I know they're young, but I done been around a lot of players like Talib, Jalen's, Marcus, all these, Eric Weddle. So I will come in there and try to bring what I can bring, be an open book and get them what I learned from those veterans. And come in there and be a staple. It's gonna be fun though, like putting in that work with them every day. I'm excited. And then like growing up too, it's crazy. I remember watching like Joe Hayden and TJ Ward early on in their career, and that's getting me excited about it. I mean, JJ rocking 43. It's like, man, I'm like, shoot, I might have to go get that 2-3 just to bring back that, you know what I'm saying? Like bring back that little time, that era. So I mean, I'm excited about it. I'm excited to be a Brown. I'm excited to be in the Dog Pound.
That number's available. You got to watch out. 23 in Cleveland. There's high expectation. You're going to put 23 in Cleveland. That's going to come with some expectations.
Hey, another hometown kid wore it too, you know. So yeah. I'm trying to follow in those footsteps, you know.
It's funny though. The one question I had that I didn't even write down, but you never really know what that means, right? We're all fans. Mm-hmm. It's our team, it's our hometown, but what does that really mean? Like if you go into free agency this year, and you know after last year you had a great year, you're going to get a decent deal coming out of free agency. What is is there really a draw to your hometown, or does that even factor in at all?
I'm not gonna lie. At the beginning of free agency, I definitely never pictured me being in Cleveland. I mean, you know, but like once the opportunity presented itself and God like did what he did to make this happen, it was like, all right, I got an opportunity to go back home. I got an opportunity to be my family, represent the right way. And I know about the city and like, I know what it stands for to be out there and like the tough and the football city that it is and everything. So it was like, all right, yeah, that's the place that I need to be. And I know they on the rise and got a chance to win a Super Bowl with a young roster. So it was like, all right, everything kind of just fell in this place and it made sense. And then it was crazy because when JJ went there, it was like, hey, you going back to my hometown? That's kind of raw. Like, hey, I'm happy for you. That's kind of raw. And then when I got that opportunity a couple of days later, it was like, it's easy now. I'm familiar with the face. I know what he's finna bring. I know that's just going to electrify the secondary. So it was like, all right, that's just made sense. It made sense for me.
Now, did you text him or did he was he surprised when you signed there?
It's so funny because like at the beginning of the friendship, I texted him. I'm like, yeah, where you finna go? Like, he was being like, I don't know. I'm like, man, stop treating me like the media. Like, you know what I'm saying? He was treating me like the media. Then the next day or like a couple days later, he done signed with Cleveland. It was like, all right, JJ, yeah, that's raw. And then he texted our group chat actually and told everybody that he was gonna come to Cleveland. And then once I found out that I had an opportunity, it was between Cleveland and LA, really. But like, it was like, I've been out in LA for a while. Maybe it's time for me to go home. And I actually text him like, hey, I'm finna come to the dog pound with you. And he sent me like an emoji like this, telling me come on.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, let's do it, JJ. All right. So it made it a lot sweeter too.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome hearing a little bit of that behind the scenes because, again, we're only presented, like you said, treating each other like the media. We're only presented with what kind of we hear from the media. So that's behind the scenes stuff, man.
Yeah.
Did you hear right away from coaches, any teammates, any Browns players reach out, welcome you to the team?
Mac Wilson, I talked to Mac Wilson.
Yeah.
So that was probably, he was like, yeah, let's get it, you know what I'm saying, type of thing. But I mean, for the most part, it was just like, one of them, let's get it, congratulations type thing. We finna turn up. And then, I mean, I took my visit out there. I talked to all the coaches and everything, got a chance to sit down with everybody. So, I mean, I'm excited about it. I'm excited about this opportunity.
Yeah. Man, it seems like whenever there's a big signing for anybody, like teammates hear from teammates like almost instantly. Do y'all have like an NFL white pages? Like, yeah, how do you get those numbers quickly, man?
You know, now that you got social media, it's kind of easy now, you know, social media, they DM you or whatever. So that's kind of where that comes from. But like, no white pages.
All right, Troy, we want to get to know Troy, the person, but I'm going to ask you one more football question.
Okay.
Just knowing football, you're a ball hawking cornerback. You led the league in defensive touchdowns last year. So you were finding the end zone. You had a great, really your best year in the NFL last year. After a kind of a bounce around start to your career. So, what's the biggest thing you're trying to bring to the Browns? And then if you look at your film from last year, what's the biggest area you're trying to improve from your game from last year?
Can you say the first question? I'll answer them one at a time real quick. The first part of the question.
So what's the biggest thing that you're bringing to the Browns? What should people be most excited about?
I think I'm gonna bring hard working. You know, everything I've been through and everything, like you gonna get my best, you know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna come out there hard working and bring excitement to the team. So that's where I'm at with it. And then, you know what I'm saying, just I feel like I'm relatable because I came, you know what I'm saying, from what happens in the city. I understand it a lot more. So I mean, that's what you're gonna get. You're gonna get a relatable person, exciting player, and a hard-working player. And every day I'm gonna come out there and give my best effort and put my best foot forward, stand on my 10 toes, and you know what I'm saying, make plays. That's what I'm here for.
I love it. So part two of that, if you look at your film, and which you've done a million times, watch your film from last year, which was a good year. What's the one area where you're like, okay, that's where I got to get better, and if I do, I'm a Pro Bowl player?
Just coming in there and shutting shit down, like every snap. Basically, that's where I'm at with it. Like, look, just come in there. I done seen players do it. I be around them. Like, I see what they capable of. I see Jalen came out there, did it, and that's what making him great. So it's like, I seen leave, you know what I'm saying? That's everything. Just come in there, shut shit down, and get the ball. Like, it's all about the ball at the end of the day. You get the ball, none of that other stuff matter. They never remember about nothing else but you getting the ball and putting it where you need to put it. Give Baker and Jarvis and everybody the opportunity to stay on the field longer, because I know that's when they gonna score, you know. So
yeah,
just get the ball back for the offense.
Awesome. All right, well, let's get to know you, the person. And I feel like you probably heard this way too much in your life, but it's impossible to not bring up, right? A kid that grew up in Youngstown. I swear to God, if they created the show The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air now, they would think it was about your life, right?
Yeah, definitely.
About Troy grew up in Youngstown, and then when he was 15, you were 15, right? And you went to live with your uncle in California, in Southern California, because you were just going through some hard stuff, and you went out there, and all of a sudden you become a high school star. You overcame a lot from your upbringing. You go on to play at Oregon, and now here you are in the NFL. Like it is. How many times have you heard that? Like, you're like the real Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Yeah, I heard it a few times for sure. I heard it a few times, but I mean, I wish I would have moved. I wish I would have moved to Bel-Air with the rich people, though. I wish I was living like him, but it's similar stories though, for sure. Definitely it's similar stories, and I can relate it. But I heard it a few times though, honestly, like still to this day, and I really don't look at it like that. It's just be like, for me, I think it's more so just I feel like I got an opportunity and I took advantage of it. In a small town like Youngstown, you don't really get too much opportunity, and you kind of like, everybody got the same mindset, not in a negative way. You might have a few people, but it's easy to be a product of your environment, and that's kind of the route that I felt like I was taking at the time. Like, I was gonna be a product of my environment, but I got a chance to move to California at a young age and see different things and experience different things. So I feel like Youngstown gave me a foundation where it's like, all right, I got to be tough in certain senses and things like that. But I feel like California gave me a mindset of, hey, this is business. This is what you have to do. These are, opportunities and things. So I got a foundation from Youngstown. I got a mindset from California in a way where it's like just helped me to grow as a person.
2 questions. Okay. Is your uncle named Phil? Because that would just be awesome.
Nah, my uncle named Jim, actually.
Oh, okay. All right.
Jim, that still works. Uncle Jim still works.
Crazy.
Now, now, so you went to California when you were 15. If you would have stayed in Youngstown, and you were playing ball, I assume, right?
I actually wasn't. So like,
okay.
My first year in high school, I was a freshman and I was playing ball. I played freshman in JV. And after that season, I kind of like really just stopped going to school. Like, school wasn't really for me. So I probably leave school halfway throughout the day, or, you know what I'm saying? My mom be at work, so she couldn't really control me in that sense. So I mean, that's why I flunked. I actually flunked my freshman year, and it ended up coming out later on when I got to California, which I ain't know no better. So it's a crazy story because I really didn't know no better. When I moved to California, I was moving to California, and it really just like, my mindset was, I'm just going out here, I'm gonna graduate and figure something out. Like, cause the route I'm taking, I'm not finna graduate, nothing's gonna happen. Like, my second year when I was a freshman, I was already kind of going through the same thing because, like I say, I just wasn't going to school type of thing because my mom had to work and, So in that sense, it was like, yeah, I'm going to go out here to California, go graduate and figure it out. But I end up flunking and it ended up coming out like as I signed my letter of intent to Oregon. So when I'm in California, we end up having to forfeit all our games to my senior year. We ended up having to forfeit all our games. So people I ain't know no better. I'm still a kid at this point. Like, I ain't know what was going on. My thing, I'm just about to go graduate, whatever. But like, football ended up working out the way it did. Like, I always knew I had talent, but like I say, I was a product of my environment. The people who I surrounded myself with, wasn't nobody really doing that. We were trying to survive by any means type thing. So once that happened, it was just like, you know what I'm saying? I got scrutinized. They was dogging me as a kid. So that's why I feel like I can handle any type of adversity because, I mean, I had it at a young age, like, type of thing. I don't even know if I'm answering the question, but this is just my story
hey.
type of thing.
Hey,
it's
I appreciate it, man. Yeah, that was
It's
like
crazy
that was going to be my question. That was going to be my question. Was like, how did the opportunity to California come about? Like, I didn't know if it was just going out there for to play ball, or like, you know, was that always the plan, or like, were you playing ball at high school in Youngstown? So yeah, I was just curious, man. But that's a really
Yeah.
awesome story, man.
Well, what's cool?
Yeah.
What's cool too is, man, you go from that kid that's a freshman that doesn't want to go to class, and you're trying to find a path, and it wasn't there. You graduated high school with a 3-point GPA. I mean, like, so you found it in class, you found it on the football field. Obviously, you wind up with the Ducks, and that's, you know, talk about 3 crazy places to wind up. You go from Youngstown to Southern California to Eugene, Oregon.
Eugene, or it's crazy. The first story, like, I actually got to campus late because I went through the clearinghouse and everything. And then this is my first story about being in Oregon. So it was crazy because the first day on campus, like, my dorms and McDonald's was right across the street from each other. It's like late night, I'm hungry, so I'm all right, I'm gonna go to McDonald's. And this is how Eugene is. Like, I love that city and everything that it brings. But the first day I'm on campus, I see a big old group of bikers, though. Bikers, they got the lights on the bike, all that. They doing their thing. But I really look, it's old ladies on there with their shirt off, just titties hanging and everything. I'm like, oh, this is where I'm at. What's going on? I'm like, oh, everybody got their shirt off. They just so happy. It was like, I'm like, oh, this is going on. So that was kind of my first time being in Oregon. I'm like, man, this is crazy. I ain't never seen nothing like that. But I mean, I ended up falling in love with the city.
One night in Detroit, transfer portal. Like,
oh, exactly. That's what I was thinking.
Oh my
God. Exactly. Like, this is too much for me right now, but it was a good time though.
We've talked a lot about, like, especially the year you played for the national championship with Oregon. You played Ohio State. We've had some Buckeyes on from that team. We've talked a lot about it. I think the one thing, every time I talk to or think about Oregon, there's one question that pops into my head, and you're an Oregon athlete. How great, it's got to be awesome playing in Oregon. It's got to be awesome to be an athlete, right? Like the Nike, and you're playing at Autzen Stadium, which is crazy. Like, is it as cool up there as it seems?
I've seen pictures of that locker room too, Troy.
Yeah,
it's insane.
Yeah, that state of the art. That was my last year. They ended up getting that my last year. I wish I could have enjoyed it, but even then, the locker room before that they just made before that was one of the best in the nation too. So, but like Oregon, everything, it seemed to be like the fans is one of a kind. They all diehards, all about they Ducks. You know, them Saturday games be rocking. And at the time I was there, we was on top, so I ain't really had no complaints at all. I enjoyed it. Like, you know, during the midst of it, you never really look at it, but looking back on it, like, I had one of the best college experiences I can really ask for. You know, I would never compare or change it to anybody because it made me who I am today.
That's awesome. You're a guy that nothing was ever really handed to you. And in the NFL. So you played, you balled out through Oregon. You were an awesome player there. And then you go undrafted. You have to work your way in. You're trying to make it with different teams, the Bengals and the Patriots. And finally, the Rams bring you on. You know, as you're in that period of time where you're trying to figure out, am I going to make it in the NFL? I don't get drafted. I'm now being cut by Cincinnati or cut by New England. How hard is it to stay positive and focused during that time? And how were you able to get through that, bounce back, and catch on with the Rams?
So like my first year, I felt like I was balling. But like in Cincinnati, it was just more so a situation where, like, looking back at it, I'm like, I'm in a room full of first round draft picks, so I'm really not finna play here. They end up putting me on the practice squad. But I mean, I worked my way. I just always believed in myself. It started with believing in yourself and believing in your talent. So I always believed in myself, and I'm seeing it like, you know what I mean? I got an opportunity to go against AJ Green every day when we in practice. So I'm sharpening my iron, you hear me? Sharpening my sword. But I mean, sometimes, like, once probably, like, I want to say it was week 10 or something, I got an opportunity to come up for 3 games because somebody got hurt. And then I end up you know what I'm saying, going through that little process where they tried to put me back on practice squad, but I didn't clear waivers because the Patriots ended up signing me. I was with the Patriots for like 4 days. Literally,
Yeah, right.
I never got to practice with them. I never did anything. I don't think they seen none of my talent, so I was really just there. But I guess something happened where they felt like they couldn't have me or whatever, but I don't want to really go into it. But it wasn't really about football, though. You know, it wasn't really about football, I felt like. So at the end of that time, like, I'm thinking I'm about to go back to the Bengals. I actually, Marvin Lewis had reached out to me. I thought if I were to clear waivers, then I would have went back to the Bengals. But the Rams ended up picking me up the last game, and you know what I'm saying? I got blessed to be in the opportunity that I just kept working. Like I say, it started with believing in myself, and regardless of everything that I went through, I just always believed in myself. Don't get me wrong, sometimes you're gonna get down on it, but like the belief in self was always stronger than the negative thoughts that I had. So that's kind of what helped me stay kicking.
Yeah, awesome. So you signed your deal with the Rams, and one of the things that you said that was cool was that it allowed you to step up and focus on the game. Once you kind of had that deal, it allowed you to focus on the game. You weren't worried about that outside stuff anymore, and it really let you be yourself. You know, now you've signed a 4-year, $24 million deal with the Cleveland Browns. As a kid from Youngstown, what is that? The stability of that 4-year contract, obviously the money. What does that mean for you? What's that mean for your family?
You know, they're excited, but for me, I feel like I ain't done yet. Like, for me, I want more in a way. Like, I just want to showcase that I can do more. Like, I can be a better player. Like, I'm trying to age like fine wine in this game. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, for me, it's like, all right, I'm not done yet. I still got a lot more things to prove. Like, I probably won't be able to look up and, like, you know what I'm saying, be like, take a deep breath until I throw them cleats over the wire, you know? So until that happened right now, it's just more so I'm focused on what I need to do. And especially coming back for me is like, I feel like it's a bigger purpose. Like, I'm closer to the family, and it's going to bring a lot more responsibility that come with this because I got a whole entire family really depending on me now. And I just feel like now, so it's more so I'm even more hungrier, you know, and I want to put on for the city of Cleveland, Youngstown, the whole state of Ohio, so, and be a representation where I can really make this a home. And you know what I mean? Like, them 4 years is guaranteed. I want them to make 4 years, 8 years type of thing. So that's kind of what my mindset at.
Hey, from what I hear, it's all about this TB12 system. I don't know if you ever heard of it, Troy. Like, if you want to age like fine wine in this game, keep going. It's all about this pliability or whatever.
I'm telling you. Telling you. So
no, outside of the Browns and family, man, what's the most exciting thing for you about coming back and playing in Northeast Ohio?
Just the diehard fans. Like, I seen them Browns fans rocking with them when they was Tim Couching and, you know, all through the rugged time. So, I mean, the diehard fans is like what I miss. And just, I know the Northeast, I know it's just a football type of state. So, I mean, just being back around that and just the grit and the griminess about it, I love that type of stuff. So, I'm excited to be back.
You ready for winters again, Troy?
Nah, that's the one. That's the one. But, like, you know, it's all good, though. It come with it. It's come with it. So I'm excited about it, too. Like, whatever. Throw a snowball at my daughter or something. So be able to hit her with a snowball.
I kind of feel bad in a way. You told us they revamped the locker rooms at Autzen Stadium your last year there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you got to play in this incredible new stadium. I mean, like, that stadium they built out in LA is
state of the art. It's gonna be crazy.
No,
but I mean, look, this how I'm thinking about it. All right, Super Bowl in LA now, so now we gotta go. We gotta get back and go play. Let everybody see that stadium with the fans in it. I ain't get to check it out with fans in it, so I gotta go to get back and be able to check out LA Stadium with them fans in it.
That's awesome.
And you know, once we make it there, it'll be all Browns fans because
exactly.
we make it to the Super Bowl. We'll travel well, Troy. We'll travel well.
Hey, I already know. It's a funny story because, like, the whole Ohio, I understand, like, Browns, Ohio State, all that. So when we played them in the national championship, I must have, like, went out for pregame warm-ups and stuff. And I look around, I say, damn, it's all red in here. What's going on? Like,
Where's the green and white?
yeah, like, so I already know they're going to travel for sure.
Yeah, for sure. All right, Troy. I got one last thing, and then if Chad's got anything, we'll let you out of here. But the Browns last year, less than a touchdown away from taking the Chiefs out of the playoffs and advancing to the AFC Championship. Obviously, they are focused on revamping the defense. So now I'm just going to ask you, you've talked a lot about being excited about the fans, about the diehards, and about being on an improved Browns team. So I'm going to ask you to pump us all up, pump up the fans that are going to listen to this. What should the Browns expect this year?
They should expect another winning season for sure, you know, and expect a great defense out there. You know what I mean? That's what they should expect. Defense win championships. So we're going to let that defense take care of everything. And then, you know, offense is going to score points. So expect another great season. And, you know what I'm saying? Expect to come ride with us and enjoy this excitement that's coming. It's been long enough. So it's time now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anything else for Troy before we get out of here?
No, I'm just gonna have to go buy some materials to replace this wall I'm about to run through outside of the truck here.
He's ready.
So yeah.
Make sure one of those materials is a brand new Cleveland Browns Troy Hill jersey. I'm sure you can find those places. You'll probably see plenty of them around, but
there we go. There's one last thing. There's one last thing. There's one last thing. JJ3 did a jersey reveal where he was dancing all over the place. When do we see yours, Troy? Come on now.
Ooh, that's what I need to. I need to call the equipment manager and lock in this number right now. So, I mean, soon.
All right.
23. And that's lastly, it sounds like you're going to get to pick your number because you've had some experience having to give up your numbers.
Yeah, so I was gonna try to get 22, but nah, I'm gonna go with that. I'm gonna try to get that 23.
I think it's open. Browns fans will all know what I mean by that. Troy Hill, man, thank you so much for joining us, taking the time. It has been an exciting as hell off season for the Browns, and you are a huge part of that. We are really looking forward to watching you suit up for the orange and brown, score a lot of those touchdowns again this year, and hopefully we'll podcast.
Tell the Browns fans to go reach out to Jadavion too.
You hear that?
You're telling me.
Yeah, tell him to go get him too. Get him on board too. Let's do it.
Come on, get into that NFL white paper. Get his phone number and reach out to him.
Yeah, right.
For sure. I appreciate y'all having me though.
All right, Troy. We'll see you later.